we race. Stell almost stalls it from the second row of the grid as the Paralympic drivers make no mistake to lead down into turn 1 and 2. The German driver in the Lenzo kart out of grid 3 almost went nowhere. And it is Thomas Imberg in the CPB Sports Sodi kart who's rocketed up into third place. Great start by Thomas, the French driver, the French kart here in the north of Italy in P3 in kart 4. Thomas starting out of grid 6 and he closes in on the back of the two Paralympic drivers who lead the early stages of pre-final A this morning. We're looking for Marcus Kayak. 37 for Ward Racing is the Estonian. There is still in P5, so not a bad recovery. After he almost stalled off the line, the Lenzo kart goes through in P5. Already we complete the opening lap of the race. Celenta Travisanurto and Thomas Imberg. There's Marcus in P4. He's got his own problems in the form of the German Daniel Stell, Yarislav Chevritalov, Nikita Artamanov, the Russians right behind, and then Jakob Bergmeister. Jakob Bergmeister kart 6 for the Sabecki Racing Parts team in the Maranello kart. SRP with the engines tuned by the former European champion Fabian Federer. Jakob started out of grid 7 in the 6th Maranello. There's another Maranello kart in the field in the form. Of Nikita Artamanov, the Russian, in position 7 at the moment in kart 40. But it's the Paralympics 1 and 2 as we build up to speed in the opening stages of pre-final A, KZ2, the WSK Final Cup. This is a good start to the race from Thomas Imberg, as Marcus Kayak has to defend for his life with Daniel Stell looking over his left shoulder. Back to that mentioned Maranello kart of Nikita Artamanov, kart 40, who's ahead of Chevritalov. The CPB Sports Sodi kart, remember they won this title, the WSK Final Cup, a couple of seasons ago with Adria and Renaudin. That was at Castelletto di Branduzzo. The Sodi kart team, a world leader in KZ racing over the past few seasons. But it is Paralympic 1-2, not too far from their base in Bassano del Grappa. Celenta P1, kart 1. Travisanuto P2, kart 2. There's Giorgio Carrara going through the Argentine kart 32 for the Lenzo kart team. Sandro Holzem behind Matteo Segre. Holzem in 38 for the CV Performance Group, the TM-powered Kart Republic. And Matteo Segre doing a fine job in 31 in the OK1 kart. Holding off Sandro, who's not long out of the OK Direct Drive category, is the German. Sandro in 16. Darius Cortiga, the Romanian, in the final qualifying position at the moment, in 17th place. 19 starters, 19 still in the race, as Thomas Imberg closes in on the back of Lorenzo Travisanuto. We go back in time in history. Lorenzo Travisanuto, he won the first ever edition of the WSK Final Cup. That was at the Ortona Circuit 2011, and Lorenzo was racing in the mini category. He's had a brilliant career. It's far from over yet. Recently changed from the green team to Paralympic. Had that success in the International Super Cup in Sweden a couple of months ago. Lorenzo Travisanuto won the WSK Supermaster Series with Ward Racing in Tony Kart in 2016. Multiple world champion. And now with Paralympic, he runs P2 at the moment. Daniel Stell still in P5s, trying to recover from that, well, not the best start. Marcus Kayak defending though, and doing a nice job is the Estonian in kart 37. The Vortex-powered Tony Kart P4. There's Thomas going through, trying to find a way by Lorenzo Travisanuto, the driver from Pordenone in Friuli, Venezia Giulia, not too far from the Slovenian border. Just near Udine, the famous football team Udinese is from near to Lorenzo's hometown. And of course, he's one of their more famous exports in the past few years, a world-class driver. He's in position 2, but Francesco Celenta is leading the way and pulling away half a second ahead because Travisanuto is having to defend from Thomas Imberg. Marcus Kayak, Daniel Stell sideways over the ripple strip. They slam it down through the chicane. Spectacular to watch here at Adria. Travisanuto opposite lock like a WRC car down into the final corner. Thomas Inberg says, well, if you can do that, I'll do the same. They're still in the Lenzo car, P5, just ahead of the two Maranellos for SRP Racing, Nikita Artamanov and the German Jakob Bergmeister, Chevrolet Talov, Paul Ribera, the Austrian P9 and Giorgio Carrara, the Argentine who was racing with Jensen Motorsport in the FIA Formula 3 Championship last season. He's in P10. Kart 32, the driver from Buenos Aires in Argentina. The South American is ahead of Mauro Simone, Lev Lomko, Ivan Klimenko, Marat Naitsev, Segre, Holtzem, Kotiga. He's in the final qualifying position, the Romania, coming onto the straight now at the top of your screen. Position 17 at the moment, Victor Turkin and Jonas Sala. They'll miss the final unless they can both make up 2 places in the second half of this race. Still stuck in P5. In the Lenzo kart is Daniel, powered by the TM. Giorgio, also in the Lenzo kart, he's using the LKE engine. The team of Michele Lenzo, based in Sicily or Sicilia, in the south of Italy. A brilliant world-class manufacturing facility down in the south of Italy, manufacturing the Lenzo and Luxor karts. They won the WSK Final Cup last time we raced it in 2019 with the Swede DDX, Douglas Lundberg, when he beat Leonardo Bizzotto and Harry Thompson to the podium 2 years ago at this very circuit. Of course, in 2020, the event was unfortunately cancelled. You know why, we won't go into that. But we're back for 2021. The Lenzo kart team, they also took the 2017 WSK Final Cup with the Roman Francesco Iacovacci. He won it with an LKE-powered Luxor kart 4 seasons ago. At the moment, still in P5, Carrara in P10. Fastest lap of the race now for Paul Ribera, the Austrian, who's been in brilliant form all week. He didn't get a good start though. He's faded back to P8, but now he winds up. The KSW Birol Art Austria driver. He's just done a 47.877, quickest driver on the circuit. He's ahead of Yaroslav Shevritalov, Carrara, Simone, but he's behind Jakob Bergmeister and Nikita Artamanov in the 2 SRP Racing Maranello karts. He's glued to the back of them, in fact. There he is. Paul Ribera, the Austrian, in 36, behind kart 6 of Jakob Bergmeister. So once again, the theme, a sedate race, which we've had throughout the 48 heats raced here in the past 2 days. It is something of a relief after what we've had in the early part of the season, some hectic events, without making direct reference to that incident here at the circuit in the Open Cup, but relatively incident-free, and the field have spread out with one eye on the final later this afternoon. You can catch the KZ final at 3 local time here in Italy. Our first final is at 2:20. That is for okjunior this afternoon. The final event of 2021. There's Matteo Segre in the background, getting a glimpse of him, trying to make the move. In fact, no, it was Paul Ribera. Paul Ribera does finally go through and make up 1 place on Jakob Bergmeister. It was a messy move. You might have just got a glimpse of it, but Paul Ribera has now gone through. The Austrian takes the German. There's the Birol Art for the KSW Birol Art Austria team. He's gone through. He's now in P7. Next in line is, he actually went past Chevrolet Talov. He's got to get by Bergmeister. Nikita Artamanov was the loser in that messy move. He's gone back to 9th as the Russian, as Daniel Stell is still glued to the back of Marcus Kayak. The Estonian for Ward Racing, last season racing in OK. This season stepping up to do the KZ2 shifter kart category. He's in P4 at the moment. Daniel Stell trying to find a way by the Estonian. Paralin 1-2 here in pre-final A, the WSK Final Cup at Adria Raceway. It's Cilento from Treviso. Thomas Umberg sits there in P3. It'll be a 3rd row start for the CBB Sport Sodi kart driver from France. There is Kayak still in P5, ahead of his countryman Jakob Bergmeister. The German-speaking drivers 5, 6, 7, Still, Bergmeister, and the Austrian Paul Ribera. Then go the two Russians, Shevritalov, Nikita Artamanov, Mauro Simone in P10 from Lomko. Karada's fallen back to 12th place as the Argentine ahead of the Ukrainian in the Intrepid Cup. That's Ivan Klimenko ahead of Nayatsev, Holtsam, Segre, and still Darius Kotiga for Gold Star Racing in the final qualifying position. 3 laps remaining. Still has got by Marcus Kayak for P4. And Sandro Holtsam going through car 38 behind Nayatsev ahead of Matteo Segre and Darius Kotiga. Further back in the pack, Lev Lomko making the move, trying to go by Giorgio Carrara, and it looks as though the Frenchman has got the Argentine for 11th place. Travis Anuto, car 2, sits there in 2nd place, just waits with one eye on the final this afternoon. 2 laps now remaining of this 1,302 metre circuit, which was built back in 2014. They're still going through ahead of Marcus Kayak and Jakob Bergmeister, the top German in P6. Bergmeister, car 6, in that position as well. The Maranello for SRP Racing. Yes, the first edition of the WSK Final Cup was held at the Ortona circuit back in 2011, 2012, 2013 at Castelletto di Branduzzo, south of Milan, and the first ever race at this circuit was the 2014 WSK Final Cup. A new venue though for 2022. When we go to Napoli for the Final Cup, along with the final event at South Garda Karting. That's next year. You can check that out on wsk.it. As you see at the bottom of your screen, Sandro Holtsam, he just retired on the penultimate lap. The German is out and his weekend is over. Victor Turkin moves up into the final qualifying position of 17th place. Last lap, the Paralin drivers get very close. Chalenta from Trevisanuto, they run 1-2 in karts 1-2. The team from Bassano del Grappa, from Albino Paralin, a world-class manufacturer and a brilliant racing team as well. 2 brilliant drivers. Francesco Chalenta from Napoli will lead home. His teammate Trevisanuto rides the ripple strip, but it's a Paralin 1-2 in KZ2 pre-final A. Chalenta wins it from Trevisanuto. Inberg still P4. As Artamanov comes across the line, head of Simone, Lomko, Klimenko. There is Matteo Segre in the OK1 kart. Darius Kotiga makes it through for Gold Star Racing. The Romanian will race the final, and we wait for the Russian Victor Turkin to cross the line for the Drago Course Racing Team in 17th place. He does so, and with that, heads home Jonas Salin. Turkin will line up on the final row of the grid for the final later this afternoon. So quite a sedate race for the pre-final. Well, the first of our 2 pre-finals for KZ2. It was a